Well, nowadays, Rachel Zegler just can't catch a break. And honestly, she brought it on herself. You see, Rachel Zegler and the whole Snow White movie is crashing and burning, and Rachel Zegler's Broadway dreams are flopping hard. You see, Rachel Zegler's sympathy post about her dog blew up in her face, and now Rachel Zegler's name is basically a walking PR disaster. From different tone deaf interviews to a box office meltdown, we have Rachel Zegler just keeps proving that she's out of touch, and the audience is finally done. Now, Rachel Zegler isn't just in damage control mode; she is the face of everything wrong with woke Hollywood right now. Okay. Now, all of this kicked off because the live action Rapunzel remake got shelved or paused as they're calling it. Basically, that's translation for they knew it was going to be another fiasco like Snow White with Rachel Zegler and decided to run for cover before the backlash hit full throttle. Okay, but I mean, let's be real here. They were probably about to inject the same woke nonsense that they tried with Rachel Zegler Snow White, and someone in the boardroom finally blinked. I mean, maybe, just maybe, they figured out that the average person doesn't want their, childhood classics turned into a lot of woke, biased political lectures by Rachel Zegler and even her Hollywood colleagues. Now, contrast that with Lilo and Stitch remake. I mean, that one actually looks like it's sticking to the original story. I mean, imagine that respecting the source material. I mean, right now that sounds like a crazy idea because we used to see the whole alienation of the audience right there with a certain political take. And here's the crazy part: I wouldn't even be shocked if it gets closer or even pulls in $1 billion at the box office. That's what happens when you don't treat your audience like they're idiots. You see, when you give them something familiar, something that's beloved, and don't drench it in like cringe inducing revisionism from someone like Zegler. I mean, maybe Disney's finally learning, but with these clowns, I mean, who knows? You see, Rachel Zegler's movie is a financial disaster. They slapped a $270 million budget on it, and the media is out here acting like the like the $146 million it brought in is some kind of win. These headlines are pure cope. They conveniently forget to mention that only about 40% of that box office haul actually goes back to Disney. Now the rest gets split with the theaters. So what does that mean? It means Zegler's Snow White needs to make way more than $270 million just to break even. And guess what? It's not even that close or that close at all. But the spin machine is in full force. They always leave out the details that matter. It's all a part of the same delusional game they play to make these disasters look like they're not that bad. I mean, basically, it's a meltdown in slow motion, and they're hoping no one notices. But the fans notice, fans aren't blind anymore. We see the pattern, the tone deaf executives, the woke rewrites, and movies like Zegler's Snow White getting shoved down our throats. And then they act shocked when it all explodes in their faces. Okay, it's the same pattern continuing over and over again. And right in the middle of the circus is none other than Rachel Zegler herself. Rachel Zegler is back in the headlines, but this time it's not for dragging Walt Disney or running her mouth about how outdated the original Snow White is. Actually, this time Rachel Zegler is telling the world about her dog's diarrhea. Not even kidding. That's the PR move right there. In the middle of all this backlash, this this is the card that Rachel Zegler plays. Basically, look for people like I don't know who reported this, but really it seems like a hallmark sympathy grab. Now, Zegler posted this whole thing on Instagram about her dog Lenny having insane diarrhea. I mean, it's messed up, but not for us to know what she's talking about. He's not eating, not needing meds. He's needing meds and not working. And look, I think it's weird timing where Zegler, she's been public enemy number one for months, and now see she's suddenly out here trying to soften the blow by turning her sick dog into a pity campaign. I don't know. Feels like a classic Hollywood playbook move. Now people are not feeling bad for Zegler anymore, and seems to me she knows it. So now we're getting dog drama. And then Rachel Zegler's seen walking her dog around like everything's fine, like she's in hiding, but also wants to be seen. You ever see someone who just knows the backlash is real and they're trying to do damage control without saying it directly? I mean, that's Rachel Zegler right there, right now. You see, it's the cringe attempt at a reset. It's not working. The internet doesn't forget, and the receipts are stacked. And Rachel Zegler's reputation tanked, and no one is buying this soft reboot. Okay, and now Zegler is heading to London to start in a play, so she's taking on the role of Eva Peron in Evita. You know, the one "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." I mean, kind of ironic, right? Zegler is trying to pull the spotlight away from her Snow White meltdown and reinvent herself on the stage. But guess what? That's turned into another fiasco. Ticket sales I've heard are embarrassingly low, and that's not just online hate talking. The official seat maps are, lit up in green like a Christmas tree. It's wide open, and this show opens in 2 months. I mean, let's be honest. You'd expect a show like that to be sold out or at least moved and get some seats filled in, especially with Zegler as the lead. But no, June, July, August, September, rows and rows of empty seats. Tickets are as low as $30 and still not selling. That's brutal. It's London, not some small town in Idaho. Theater tickets usually get snapped up fast in that scene. So what's going on here? Why is this thing tanking before it even starts? Could it be that Zegler's name doesn't have the pull that she thinks it does? Well, maybe, just maybe, Rachel Zegler's star power isn't what she thinks it is. You see, it seems that Rachel Zegler might have overestimated herself badly. And Rachel Zegler thought people would flock to anything with her name on it, but the demand just is not there. Now, people are done with the whole smug, self important, preachy attitude they're over the virtue signaling. They're over the fake feminism, and they definitely over Rachel Zegler insulting half of the country and then starts playing the victim. I mean, they're tired when Brie Larson did the same thing too. And let's be honest, this is not about politics. It's about respect. Respect for the fans, respect for the legacy for the of the characters, and the respect for stories that define generations. Now, Rachel Zegler disrespected all of that, and now the consequences are rolling in. The meltdown isn't coming, it's already here. This is what happens when Rachel Zegler and Hollywood get high on their own supply, basically, and forget who they're making these movies for. Now we're seeing this collapse in real time with Disney's pausing projects. Their live action brand is actually radioactive. Fans not buying it anymore, and the poster child for all of this mess is Zegler. Zegler's name is now tied to this failure, the backlash, and the box office disaster. And that's not the career arc that Zegler had in mind. Pretty sure that's definitely true. But that's what happens when Zegler treats, or people like Zegler treats audiences like garbage and expects applause. So yeah, basically, exactly where does Disney go from here? If they've got a brain cell left, they'll take a hard look at how they handle Snow White with Rachel Zegler and start doing the opposite. Stick to the classics, respect the material, cast people who aren't insufferable, and maybe, just maybe, stop trying to rewrite everything with a woke lens that alienates the very people for buying tickets. Because guess what? This particular formula here is dead. Zegler helped to bury it. And basically, to the fans who've been yelling about this from the beginning, like myself, I mean, we were right. Every step of the way from the moment Zegler started, throwing shade at the original Snow White, from the ridiculous costume leaks and choices to the whole mess with marketing to the box office creator. We all called it. You saw it in the right on the wall, and now Zegler's project is the prime example of what not to do in Hollywood. So yeah, bottom line, this is just about. It's not just about one bad movie. It's about the whole cultural shift that people are tired of being preached at by Hollywood elites like Rachel Zegler, who don't live in reality, as it seems. They're tired of the whole fake virtue and moral superiority complex, and they want stories, not sermons of woke ideology, entertainment, not lectures. And Disney gets that when they get that through their thick skulls and stop elevating people like Rachel Zegler, the mess will keep coming. And Rachel Zegler should just keep being the face of it all. So yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Are you even shocked that Rachel Zegler's play can't sell tickets, or is this just more proof that the audiences are finally pushing back on tone deaf Hollywood nonsense? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Subscribe. Be sure to smash the like button in this video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for future notifications of uploads. And I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.